the MAGAs are just eating themselves from within right now. I mean, they love to troll and to mock people. They are the worst at governing. And so you've got all of these like defenders of Matt Gaetz now attacking people who are loyal to Kevin McCarthy, who are still in the House of Representatives. I'll go over that in just a moment. Then you have Donald Trump selecting as his Treasury Secretary literally George Soros's chief investment officer. So after all this time where these MAGAs are saying, George Soros this, George Soros that, they picked Soros's protege to lead the Treasury Department. Then you've got Marjorie Taylor Greene out there saying that she's going to expose her Republican colleagues' links to Jeffrey Epstein and all of her Republican colleagues' sexual assault allegations and all of their cover-ups if they were involved in trying to tank Matt Gaetz' nomination because Matt Gaetz was being investigated for child sex trafficking. And then you've got a lot of the MAGAs who support the January 6th insurrectionists pissed at Donald Trump's selection of Pam Bondi as the attorney general. They say she's not MAGA enough and she hasn't been out there talking about the insurrectionist or what she's going to do with him. So there is this just tapestry of chaos right now, again, because they can't govern and all they do is just rage bait all of the time. So let's just take a look. This is Mike Lawler posting this. He's a Congress member from New York. He does this weird image of Kevin McCarthy with like the dark Brandon type like eyes. And then he goes, justice has been served. This is a Republican Congress member. And then all the Republican like supporters who like Matt Gaetz, for whatever reasons they do, they're out there attacking Lawler. So all of these right-wing influencers are out there saying, thank you for outing yourself. No, sir, you're a petty little man in the shadow of John McCain. And that's no compliment to be in the shadow of John McCain because the MAGAs hate John McCain, a war hero. Justice will be served when you are primaried and lose. Hey, Mike. Hope you realize that Gaetz is still congressman-elect of the 119th Congress. He resigned the 118th Congress. Yeah, rhino. Okay, Matt Gaetz is not going to be in the 119th Congress. Let me be very clear. He is out. He does not want that report being released. I hope the report is still released, though. All these people primary this rhino because Lawler is celebrating Matt Gaetz leaving. You've always been a piece of rhino garbage. Thanks for reminding the world. No, sir, the people wanted Matt. Let's primary his ass. I guess you want to be primaried. You've just made yourself an enemy of the American people. Imagine celebrating a Republican loss, another rhino backstabber. And I like that this Mike Lawler like engages with these people. He engages with Annie 060380265. Like, you're a member of Congress. Why are you responding to ANNIE 060380? Something to do what? Why? But that's what I mean. They love being on Twitter and troll baiting each other, but they hate governing. So Annie goes, as a constituent and one of your local neighbors in PR, you think this person's really a constituent? It's probably some like bot in Russia writing this. I find this so offensive that you are dancing on the grave of Matt Gaetz. Your love for Kevin McCarthy has blinded you. I hope you never become governor of New York. You're just so smug. And then Mike Lawler goes, you mean the guy who literally tried to destroy... Lawler, why are you responding to this again? You mean the guy who literally tried to destroy our majority out of personal vengeance and teamed up with 208 Democrats to remove the Republican speaker? Funny how that doesn't bother you. Feel free to vote for someone else and have a Democrat majority. And then again, this random account goes primary. And then Lawler goes, feel free to stop hiding behind social media and go ahead. Then Tim Pool, the right-wing podcaster, jump in. He goes, I'll second that primary. Because why are you on Twitter responding to these trolls in the first place? And then Kelly Turmalin goes, sunlight is the cure. Primary each and every one of this. And then Based in SB goes, primary Timcast and others. Please keep this alive and let us know where to send money. I will happily donate to ruin this feckless McCarthyite anti-American rhino piece of shit's political career. Who talks like this? For real, who talks like this? But this is MAGA. This is what people like Lawler have enabled. So here, by the way, is what Lawler said before Matt Gaetz withdrew his name. Let's play this clip.
Sure, I called him a clown and a charlatan.
You stand by that?
Yeah. separate news. This could
well, sorry, one quick question. Should a clown and a charlatan run the Justice Department?
Look, obviously, the president has every right to nominate who he chooses. There will be a confirmation process. We'll let that process play it out.
And of course, it'll all come down to the votes, Jake. There are 53, expected to be 53 Republican senators, assuming the Pennsylvania Senate race, which is in a recount, goes the Republicans' way. That means they can only lose 3 at most Republicans on any party line vote. And that means that Matt Gaetz has some work to do in order to get confirmed.
All right,
Okay.
Manu Raja on Capitol Hill. Thanks so much. My next guest is a Republican just elected to the
And then previously, when Matt Gaetz was voting to remove Kevin McCarthy, Lawler called Matt Gaetz a vile person. Here, play this clip.
Matt Gaetz is, frankly, a vile person. All right. He's not somebody who's willing to work as a team. He stands up there, he grandstands, he lies directly to folks.
So that's emblematic of the fight that's going on there. All right, are you ready for this fact? Traditional bed sheets can harbor more bacteria than a toilet seat. It can lead to acne, allergies, and stuffy noses. It's just gross. Miracle Made, however, offers a whole line of self-cleaning antibacterial bedding, such as sheets, pillowcases, and comforters that prevent up to 99.7% of bacteria growth and require up to 3 times less laundry. It's why I use Miracle Made on my bedding. Using silver-infused fabrics inspired by NASA, Miracle Made sheets are thermoregulating and designed to keep you at the perfect temperature all night long, no matter the weather, so you get a better sleep every single night. It's why I love Miracle Sheets. Miracle Sheets are luxuriously comfortable without the high price tag of other luxury brands and feel as nice, if not nicer, than sheets used by some 5-star hotels. So go to trymiracle.com/Meidas. Trymiracle.com/Meidas and try Miracle Made sheets today. And whether you're buying them for yourself or as a gift for a loved one, if you order today, you can save up to 40%. And if you use our promo code Meidas at checkout, you'll get 3 free towels and save an extra 20%. Miracle is so confident in their product, it's backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you aren't 100% satisfied, you'll get a full refund. Upgrade your sleep with Miracle Made. Go to trymiracle.com/Meidas and use the code Meidas to claim your free 3-piece towel set and save over 40% off. Again, that's trymiracle.com/Meidas to treat yourself. Thank you, Miracle Made, for sponsoring this episode. Now, I've showed you this before, but let me just show it to you again. This is Marjorie Taylor Greene's post where she says, here, just you can read it for yourself. She says, to my Republican colleagues in the House and Senate, she goes on to say that I'm going to reveal your secrets, your Epstein connections, the sexual assault allegations that you settled secretly. She says that she filed ethics investigations against people, that she's going to out that, like her reports. She says that she'll out that. And she goes, it's not even Epstein. She says the Republicans are working with other people like Epstein as well. And she's going to out that. Like, that's what they're doing right now. So you've got that. Okay, next you have Donald Trump's Secretary of Treasury pick right here, right? So his name is Scott Bessent. He's George Soros's protege. He literally was the chief investment officer of Soros's fund back in the day. He quit and then went and started his own hedge fund, but he was Soros's main guy. Here it is right here. From 2011, Soros puts new man at helm. George Soros Fund Management LLC taps Scott Bessent. And so, here you have MAGA Republican Tim Burchett. Remember, I mean, this is just anti-Semitic rhetoric from Tim Burchett, MAGA Republican from Tennessee. He's like, George Soros is a money changer of the worst kind. It's like medieval anti-Semitism. Here, play this clip.
You have a man that does not have America's interests at heart. He wants to destroy this country, and that's exactly, he is a money changer of the worst kind, and he will destroy this country and the economy of it. And
then, of course, Donald Trump would repost stuff like this, like Alvin Bragg is a Soros-appointed DA. Well, you just picked the Treasury Secretary, quite literally, not the lies, this guy's actually Soros funded. Like, this guy was Soros's money guy, like, quite literally, not in your, and look, all of this stuff right here, from the New York Post to Donald Trump's email after email, was all, this is a George Soros backed whatever. So, take a look at what Elon Musk had posted 6 days ago before Bessent was picked as the Treasury Secretary. Musk goes, would be interesting to hear more people weigh in on this for Trump to consider feedback. My view, for what it's worth, is that Bessent is a business as usual choice, whereas Howard Lutnick will actually enact change. Business as usual is driving America bankrupt, so we need to change one way or another. So already we see some rifts developing there as well with Bessent's pick. And then there's this Pam Bondi story right here. Pam Bondi picked as Attorney General for Donald Trump, and all like the January 6th sympathizers are now worried. Is she going to pardon the January 6th, or she's going to recommend that the January 6th insurrectionists are pardoned? What's she going to do with the January 6th cases? And by the way, the Trump-appointed judge in D.C., Judge Carl Nichols, who, by the way, handed Trump a win in some of these January 6th cases. He was the guy, remember, who said that the 1512 C2 obstruction of official proceeding charge shouldn't apply to the insurrectionists because he said that 1512 C2 only applies to where there's like the destruction of documents. That was appealed all the way up to the United States Supreme Court and was challenged. And ultimately, the Supreme Court sided with the Trump-appointed Judge Carl Nichols, and that threw out a lot of insurrectionist cases on that 1512 C2 charge. But even Judge Carl Nichols is saying to Donald Trump, you shouldn't be pardoning these January 6 people. Like, maybe some of them, but a lot of them should not be pardoned. So we've got, remember what I said a few weeks ago? I said, in chaos, there's opportunity. And Trump and MAGA simply don't know how to govern. We're seeing that here. And, I think there is a role for us to play in educating everybody on what's going on, where these fault lines are. So ultimately, one day democracy can prevail again. And what we have to do is demonstrate who's against who and develop the strategy together, which we're going to do here. So thanks for watching. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 4 million together, and appreciate you.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.